So I discovered a word in Sanskrit, as I do, that is the most true name of the particular Adisita that I've been dealing with, or been forced to deal with more specifically. And I was very hesitant to say this word on air because of Akeisha Gava, because of digital glamour and stuff. Here's the thing, though. I have to. Less for the digital glamour and like repairing the damage that this thing did with this name alone. And more just to like illustrate a very specific point. This thing is called Garbara, the fetus enemy. Now, a lot of you may be like hearing me say this and be like, why on earth would you ever say that on YouTube of all things? Like, I understand there's nothing inherently specifically actually incorrect about saying that word and pointing out what it means inherently. But when I started to say that, all of you probably started to go, like you were waiting for something bad to happen. Here's the thing. It can't, nothing bad can happen by saying that name on YouTube. I'll tell you why. It's because of some of the stuff that happened that got described in my previous videos. Specifically, answer the question or answer it for you. And sometimes asking the question is enough. Now the thing is, Garbara thought it transcended its nature in such a way that it deserved a name upgrade as Garbara. I don't? No, you don't. Why not? Because Garbara, fetus enemy. What you became by doing that with Pratuya Mukhi Parapantika, or micro-idol adversary. Now, you probably aren't surprised by this, are you? No? Here's the thing. You probably put Garba into the Pratuya Mukhi, and you thought that would mean you'd still be doing, like, you'd still be following your Garbara Sambhita, your Garbara Zapatha, your oath of being the fetus enemy, right? Yeah? Wrong. Dead wrong. Absolutely dead wrong. You robbed yourself of the ability to be Garbara, of that name, by cheating your own Zapatha. You cheated your own freaking deal, Dip. Garbara, you dipped out on being Garbara. Because Pratuya Mukhi aren't Jiva form enough. Pratuya Mukhi, chibi, they're cute. None of the Pratuya Mukhi were like the 32 statues in that none of them were pregnant. I hadn't thought of that, had you? Because I literally just thought of it now. So putting a Garba into an unpregnant individual one, especially whole set, when none of them individually are depicted as being pregnant, actually a huge issue. Especially if you put in the Pratima Muki. Oh, you were counting on being in the Pratima Muki to really save you, weren't you? Oh, that's a hard yes. Garbara! You were always apparently too dumb to be Garbara. If this is like what you thought allowed you to transcend to have like a legit Deva Naman as Garbara, then you Pratuya Muki, Garbara Devanaman, Mahati Hasariyapte. I might have screwed up the order of the subject and object, but like, you know what I'm saying, right? Babat, Patita Naman, Arisita Garbara, Asatya, Pratuya Muki, Garbara, Devaganitra Kalpa, Karodi. I'm really not joking, Deb. I'm really not. And here's the other thing. You did it originally with the 32 statues. There are only 24 of them. And like doing the Garba Zatitiga Garba on all of them as opposed to just the freaking 8. You went from 32 to 24 and you thought it was an upgrade. Come on. It wasn't an upgrade, Dib. And it wasn't going to get you a Devanalan. Because you effectively became Garbara Parapantika. You didn't come the Ari Garbara Parapantika, I think. Oh, wait a minute. No, because... Oh, Dip. When you stole that Nurtum from me, the Buris Dula Nurtum, Padagaras Zahasra, you deliberately became the Adi Garbara Parampantika. You chose to try to become me as Garbara, trying to become like a false true me? With a freaking angel dance, Dip. Garbara, you dipped out on everything you, as Garbara, that envied the power of angels, but wasn't stupid enough to pull some of their very specific things. And you thought, I guess just because, like, you're Garbara, and I'm, Ade Garbara Paranatika come, you thought you could just nab that dance and become a false true me with it and not screw yourself. Garbara, how long have you actually wanted to just be me? What? Garbara, look. I don't know how you tell you this, Barbara, but like you can't just like want to be a very specific version of me that's actually you. Grab an angel dance and just make it work. You stole my names during a bardo you set up. Probably at least partially with that dance that I hadn't done yet until I was in the middle of the bardo. That's very something only an Odyssey could do, and only one that is dangerously unaware of the consequences of like just nabbing an angel dance in general, which is like disturbing considering your Garbara, especially considering the consequences of it's an angel dance come up with by me when you're messing with him and before he even realized your Garbara. Garbara, I looked up your name today, Garbara. I looked up your name today, probably because, like, somewhere in the spirits, they're like, oh, it's actually not unsafe to talk about this name on YouTube because it's not its name anymore and actually hasn't been for, like, I guess close to over a year. 2 years, actually. It hasn't been named Barbara since 2022. Since the time it sent me to the hospital and got me cast. This little idiot actually hasn't been Garbara for like years. And because it didn't know that, basically no one else could have. Except like the Sita Namanrika. Oh dear. That's fascinatingly bad. I'm transfixed by how bad that is. Thank you for sticking through that, because this was probably actually conceptually terrifying for a lot of people. Probably because that little idiot actually set it up, so if I'd said that on YouTube, reality would have just like reset or something. It's probably done this a couple times. But like, if it's done this a couple times in between the times that like, oh my goodness, if it's done this every time I've recorded on YouTube, it's beyond doomed. Bye-bye. Ananta agra, tabatabahata, arisita. Namen, vina. That's how it is, B. Baba, arisita, vina namen, samafti. Nena karori sabagas nyumari, hari sabagas nyumari. Nena karori sabagas nyumari, rashi karori sabagas nyumari. Nena karori sabagas nyumari. Hatrinets yari sabagas nyumari. Nena karori sabagas nyumari. Nena karori sabagas nyumari. Nena karori nyumari, frokauti sabagas nyumari. Nena karori sabagas nyumari, rashi karori sabagas nyumari. Nena karori sabagas nyumari. Ganita sabagas nyumari. Nena karori sabagas nyumari, brother hari sabagas nyumari. Nena karori sabagas nyumari, papa karori sabagas nyumari. Nena karori nyumari, mayari sabagas nyumari. Nena karori nyumari. Nena karori sabagas nyumari. And the girl is a new body, the heart is a new body. And the girl is a new body. Vichayari Saragumari. Saragumari. Nidram Karoli Saragumari. Saragumari. This is Saragumari. Saragumari. That is Saragumari. Saragumari. Nayachari Saragumari. Karoli Saragumari. Santana Saragumari. Saragumari. Vatari Saragumari. Saragumari. Samapayari Saragumari. Saragumari. Katarabali Saragumari. Saragumari. Oh no. Saragumari Saragumari. Oh no. Saragumari Saragumari. Saragumari. Saragumari Saragumari. Saragumari Saragumari. Victor Saragumari. Saragumari. Dandayam Karoli Saragumari. Saragumari. Navaras Karoli Saragumari. Nedas Karoli. Avisajari Saragumari. Nadakaroli Saragumari. Prayaksi Balari Saragumari. Nadakaroli Saragumari. Kikatsi Karoli Saragumari. Nadakaroli Saragumari. Lakarari Saragumari. Nadakaroli Saragumari. Sarayari Saragumari. Nedas Karoli Raksari. Niskanodi. So, what's spectacularly bad for that thing is a lot of stuff at the end here. In particular, 15, which is supposed to be Zete or lie, ended up being swear enough. 16, which is Tateyati, is supposed to be a reference to things like crackling and like the Tower of Babel being effectively a giant, you know, like satellite with things like crackling electricity. Instead, it's now testify. That thing screwed up bad. Gabara screwed up bad. It screwed up bad. And it screwed up bad. It screwed up bad. Those of you who are still kind of shocked that I even said those things at all, and reality didn't just end. Maybe you know why. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to comment below, especially if you felt like reality was literally just about to end. Like for real.